In this video, we will learn about loops. Loops are repeating statements. There are four types of loops in Java: while loop, do while loop, for and for each loop. In this video, I will explain about these three loops. This we will learn it in some other video along with some other topic. So I will just show you how these loops are written and how they work, what is their working, right? And example programs, we will see them in the next video. So loops are meant for repeating the set of statements. See, there are a lot of procedures that we do in our daily life and we perform repeated steps for completing that procedure. Like if I take the example of computations, for example of computation, if I have to find out a GCD of some numbers, then I have to go on subtracting the numbers. If I am finding LCM of some numbers, then I have to go on dividing the numbers with common factors, right? So it is not one step, we have to repeatedly do it more than one times. So when you have to do the similar work repeatedly, then that you can put it in the form of a loop. As I said, loops are used for repeating the set of statements. See, in our daily life, we do a lot of things that some steps are repeated in the procedures. So in computations, like if I take the example of finding LCM of two numbers, then we divide the number by some common factor. Then again we divide, then again we divide. So we perform the same thing again and again until we get the result. So the procedure is having a step which is repeated until we reach some condition or some state. So likewise, there are many procedures that we do in computations where we require repetition. So that type of procedures, we can do them using loops in programming. So when we want to write a program for any procedure that we do it using pen and paper and it is having repeated step, then we can use loop there. We will see lots of example. In Java, we have lot of chances for using these type of statements. So we will learn them by using them. Now let us learn about each one by one. So first of all, I have a flow chart here to show you what does it mean by repetition of statement. See, this is the flow of program and there is some condition. If the condition is true, then this process will be done and again it will come back here. So again the condition is checked. If the condition is true, then the process, whatever the steps are, that steps are repeated and again it will continue. So again it will go back to this point. As long as the condition is true, it will be repeating here. So this is like a loop, right? Same steps are repeated again and again as long as the condition is true. Once the condition becomes false, it will do the rest of the work, whatever the things we have to do followed by that. So this is how we can diagrammatically understand the working of loops. Now I'll take some example task, example program, and I will show you while loop and do while loop. So here is the skeleton of while and do while loop. That is the syntax of while and do while. While, and we write some condition here. And then these are the statements. These lines are showing the statements inside the body of while. So this is the starting and ending point of while. So this will first check the condition. If the condition is true, then these steps are executed. This is nothing but a process. Whatever the work that you want to do, that is a process. Then once it reaches the body of this one, end of this one, then it will again come back and check the condition. If the condition is true, then again execute. So it will be go on doing it as long as the condition is true. And it will stop once the condition is false. If the condition is false, then it will come out of this body and it will execute the rest of the statements. So if you want to repeatedly execute the set of statement until the condition is true, then you can use this syntax, that is while loop. So here I am showing it in the diagram, that is flow chart. See, this is the flow of program. So condition is checked. If the condition is true, then the process is executed. Then again condition is checked. If true, then process is done. So this will be repeated. So first condition is checked, and if it is true, this process is done. First condition is checked, then if it is true, then this process is done. The block is executed. Now next let us look at do while loop. This is do and while. So this is the syntax. So in the syntax, you have to use do and the flower brackets, then while and the condition, and this must be terminated by semicolon. Now let us see how this works. So first it will execute this block of statement. This is the work that you want to do, that is nothing but a process. And first it will execute the block, then checks the condition. So if the condition is true, then again it will go to do and continue the process. So as long as the condition is true, this block of statements will be executed. So the diagram for this one is given here. First it will process, means it will perform the steps, whatever the steps that you want to repeat. Then condition is checked. If it is true, then again go back here and again repeat the process. So this is the diagram. Now if I compare them, this is pre-tested or pre-checked loop. First it will check the condition, then it will execute. And this is post-tested. First it will execute the block, then it will check the condition. So it means that this loop will execute this block minimum one time. Definitely it will execute. Let us see. If I have a variable n and it is having value 0. Okay, so already it is 0. Suppose I set the condition that n is not equal to 0, then do this one. If you check the condition first time, n is equal to 0, not equal to 0 will be false. So the condition is false, so it will not enter into this block, it will not execute the block. So if the condition is already false, it will not execute at all. Now here, if I have same n and it is 0, and here if I write down the condition that n is not equal to 0, see, n is equal to 0, not equal to will be false. So let us see how it works. First it will execute the block, then check the condition. Condition is false, so it will stop. It will not continue further. So this process is executed once, and here the process was not executed at all. So if the condition is already false, this will never execute, and this will minimum execute one time. So this is the syntax and the working of while and do while loop. Mostly students get confused that where to use do while loop. So I'll say this. See, wherever you are using while loop, same place you can use do while loop also. All those things that you can do using while, you can also do it using do while. So it's like a choice. It's like a choice. You will come across very rare situation where you really need this type of thing, that at least one time the body should be executed. Rarely you will come across a situation. Mostly it is used when if the value of that n has to be taken first, then check later. Then any variable, right, I have taken n here, any variable whose value has to be checked later on, then you can go for do while. So even that situation you can do it using while also, right, with minor some changes you can do it using while. So both the loops are similar, it matters which one you want, right. During the course I will take some examples, I will take some exercises where I will show you that do while is more suitable there than while loop. Okay, I will show you the situations where it is useful. During the course you will find it. Now I will just write on a piece of code here for displaying some values, that is powers of 2, using these two loops. So just you can have a sample piece of code. Now I will write on some piece of code for printing some numbers, that is powers of 2, like I will print the numbers 1, 2, 4, 8, 16 up to some number. Suppose if I have given 100, so below 100, right, I will display the numbers that is below 100. So I'll just write down the code here just to demonstrate how this loops works and how to use them. Now here I have some simple piece of code for printing the numbers 1, 2, 4, that is powers of 2. So I have written it using while as well as do while. So let us see the working of these. So here I have two variables I and n. I is initially 1 and n is 100. Now what it is doing, it is printing and changing the value of I. As long as I is less than 100, n is 100. So it is printing the value of I and then changing the value of I, that is I into 2. So these are the two steps. So let us see what happens. First time, I is how much? I is 1. Then 1 is less than n. Yes, less than 100. So it will print 1. Then it will multiply I by 2. So it becomes 2. Then again goes up. Now I is less than n. What is I? Now check here. It is 2. 2 is less than 100. Yes. So print it 2. Then multiply it by 2. So this becomes 4. And then next again n is 4. 4 is less than 100. So I values are changing here. It is no more 1. Right. It has become 2 then 4. 4 is less than 100. Then print 4. Then makes it as 8. Then print 8. 16. 16. 32. 32 is less than 100, right? So I am continuing, and this is 32 is printed and it becomes 64. Then 64 is less than 100. 64 is less than 100. Yes. So print 64. Then becomes 128. Now this time 128 is not less than 100. So it will stop. So the values that it has printed are these. Now same way if I check here, I value is 1, n value is 100. What are the two steps? Print and modify the value. So print this I value and modify the value of I. Let us see the working. We'll get the same result though it is done using do while loop. Let us start. First time I value is taken here. So first I print I is what? 1. Then I is modified. I becomes 2 multiplied by 2. 2 is less than n. See, first it has multiplied. Now it is checking the condition. Here first it has checked the condition when I was 1. Then multiplied. So because this is do while loop. Now it will print 2 makes it as 4 and print 4 makes it as 8. Print 8 and then makes it as 16 and 16 is less than 100. Continue. Then print 16 32. Print 32 64. 64 is less than 100. Continue. So print 64. Then 128. 128. 128 is not less than n. So stops. So these are the values it has printed. So you can see that I got the same result even I have used while loop or do while loop. Whatever the loop is, the results are same. As I said that most of the time their working is similar only in some cases. So most of the time it is similar. So I got the same results. So these loops will be using them a lot in our Java programs. In next video, I will show you some programs using while or do while loop.